Well, here I am again, standing at the window in a snowstorm, debating if I really want to save these two. They've been out there for hours. All they have to do is walk around the corner and they'll be in the coop. And I don't have the heart to let them turn into little chicken sickles, so here I go. Oh, well now they're on the other side, but they still can't figure out how to get up in there. Oh no, I don't need your help. No, thank you. Go inside. Go inside. So you want to farm. What are you doing? Go in there, you nerds. All right, we'll close the door. Oh. I just got a giant gust of snow down my shirt. Almost there. Almost there. Oh, we're not in Kansas anymore, Toto. What? Winter time with chickens. You should know. Before you get that cute little chick at Big R or Tractor Supply, you should know.
All right, here we are, Sunday morning. Got to do our chores. So who do we have here?
Caleb.
Caleb. Who's Caleb?
He's our cousin.
There you go. He's your cousin. He's a person. I'm a person and I woke up awesome today.
And there's also my
All right, guys.
What about
So
my cat?
what's the first thing that we need to do?
We need to, we go over here. So,
Who are all these people, Mama?
Rex is eating their water.
You mean drinking their water?
No, eating their water. I know what I said.
Eating?
Drinking.
Do you eat your water?
Yes.
All right, Caleb, grab the measuring cup, bud. You're gonna fill that thing up to the 1 cup mark.
And then he's
Yep,
gonna
that
fill
one
up
right
the
there.
bowl for you, Sophie, Crystal.
Now, how many cups do you got there? That looks like enough.
I want to feel.
That's a cup. So you're gonna go over to the stall.
But Dad and Mom said we have to do it at the same time so that they.
They're not here, baby. They're not here. Okay. Now dump it in the green thing. Yep, got it. How's our water look? Does it look empty? No, looks good. All right, thanks, Caleb. Please don't fall. Have you ever done this before? Do them one at a time.
Here, I'm gonna get Kay all over his there.
Thanks. McKenna, you ended up in one of the videos. Okay. Okay.
Okay then.
Brinley, can you grab that hay before it falls? Thanks. Piper, can you reach? Really? You made it? Bravo!
Mama?
Now I can sleep in every day. You want me to do that one?
No.
Who's gonna feed the cat?
I will.
Piper, that's the wrong side.
Dad, I'll. Caleb, do you want to feed the cat?
Oh, there it went. Caleb, how did you do? It's really not that hard, huh? Not really. Okay. Kelly, do you like your food? That's some good stuff.
You can pick that food for you.
Yeah, they do. Very bristly, huh? Like a brush. Was it done?
False alarm. I love my watering system that Mark has built for me. Guys, if you can wing it, it is not expensive. I thought it was only going to work in the summer and spring, obviously because of the cold temps. And some nights, obviously I come out and it's frozen and I can't use it. We just keep this off of the hydrant and then put it on when we want to use it. But to be able to turn this on and have all of my water buckets full, not only is a huge time saver, it's an energy saver, but it keeps their water fresh somehow, I guess just because of the movement of it being refilled. And all I have to do is I just take this net that came with our Intex pool. We don't have the pool anymore. And I go and every once in a while I filter out some of the hay that they've gotten in there. But I think we've only had to dump the buckets once.
I've dumped them twice.
You dumped them twice.
Since November.
Since November, okay, yeah. So their water just has not been mucky or dirty, so there has been no reason to change them out. So, plus, sometimes we don't get home from church when we expect to, and to know that they've got these big water buckets that are full, that we didn't fill halfway because we didn't want to carry as many buckets or whatever, it's just been indispensable. So this system is working beautifully for us, and it did not cost that much. So this is all I have to do to fill up 1, 2, this is all I have to do to fill up 4 buckets of water.
And even though it was like 0 degrees last night and 8 inches of snow outside, it's still thawed enough to fill up the buckets.
Okay, Mark, for those who have not seen that video, when you put this together, kind of explain how this bad boy works.
Okay, so we bought some poly tubing, which is like sprinkler hose that you put in the ground outside. A lot of people use it for irrigating bushes, trees, and other flowers and vegetables. But anyways, we bought this, flexible poly. I believe this is 1/2 inch. And some connectors, and all of this is available through Lowe's, Home Depot, Ace, in their irrigation place where they have all of their sprinkler parts for your yard and vegetable drip irrigation. That's where you get this stuff. It's not expensive. I think it was $25 for a 50-foot roll, which our barn is 50 foot long, so it didn't take much. So we bought a couple rolls of that, and we bought the 90-degree fittings, elbows. I used these conduit brackets that you usually use on plastic and metal conduit that you're running electrical wire through. Well, we used them here to hold the pipe still. They work great. So to keep from digging trenches in our barn floor and across areas where we walk all the time, I strung it up the walls and decided to bring it across the main beam going across these stalls. Added advantage of doing it this way and bringing it across the top beam is gravity. Gravity will actually drain this pipe out for us so that we don't have freezing, bulging areas that split open. We've noticed that when we shut this off, it takes about 30 seconds to a minute to drain back. You can actually hear it draining back. And once it's fully drained back, there's hardly any water left in this line. Each stall has a T above it, where we've got another 1/2 inch line dropping down from the main trunk going to each bucket, or each stall in this case. Once we come down to the stall wall, I just drilled a 3/4 inch hole through the oak plank and drove it through right above where the bucket sits. Get through the oak planks. It comes out right above each bucket. It's the way that we designed it so that we didn't have a lot of poly pipe inside the stall that the horses could bite, because alpacas don't have hot top teeth, so they would gum it. But we didn't want them pulling on it. So I went ahead and dropped it in right above each bucket. Now, at that point, you got to figure you're either going to dump it in the bucket, stand here and wait for each bucket to fill and shut it off yourself, which the first bucket might overflow by the time you get to the second one. So how do you fix that problem? Well, you have to put a float stop on each one. So there's a couple of options at Big R, Tractor Supply, these places. They have trough floats. And these trough floats come in either metal or plastic. Our horses, we haven't experienced them picking anything up with their teeth and throwing it around. They don't eat the buckets, so we figured plastic's fine, and it's like $10 cheaper. So we went with plastic floats. They work great. You've got to have a middle school education in order to understand the instruction booklet on how to put it together, but because there's a lot of pins and stuff and they're disassembled in the box. They're put together for you. So we went ahead and assembled those, attached to each bucket. They have a 3/4 inch hose bib attachment on top. Luckily they have a hose bib attachment for the poly pipe system. So we went ahead and screwed them on. Haven't had to take them off. Anytime we want to clean a bucket, you release the tensioning screws that hold the float in place, slips right off the bucket, dump the bucket, bring it back. It's been a wonderful solution to filling everything with either a hose, which can freeze. Solution to that was emptying the hose out and carrying it inside to a warm place every single day, twice a day, which is total hassle. The other thing was carrying a 5-gallon bucket, and you carry 5 or 6 5-gallon buckets and you're tired. So if each one of our troughs are between 10 and 15 gallons, that's between 2 and 3 buckets every stall, and you're just tired. So it has totally saved us energy, totally saved us time. You know, when it's freezing cold outside, it's great to just waste a minute filling the buckets and then going back inside. It's awesome. We love it. I think all told might have cost us $50-$60 at the most with pieces and parts. And I actually have...
Now that doesn't include the buckets themselves, but before Mark came up with this amazing design, we were going to buy the heated troughs from Big R, which were about $80 each. So we went ahead and just purchased muck buckets. And those have been fine. I think the muck buckets were $15 to $20 a bucket.
Yep.
And we went ahead and bought a bucket heater. I'll put a link in the description below for the heater that we use. We've had success with that in our chicken coop and now in our barn. And that was about $25. We essentially spent around $40 for the muck bucket and the pail warmer, as opposed to $80 for the same idea at Big R. And then Mark added on this whole system that just made a night and day difference in our barn chores, and it probably cut about 30 minutes to even maybe an hour off of our day each day. Getting those buckets refilled, it's keeping the water fresh, it's keeping it moving, which is good. Anyone who knows that stagnant water is not good, so keeping it moving. The only difference between winter and spring or summer is you need to make sure you detach the hose manifold from your hydrant when you're done. But we were doing that anyway because we had bought one of those slinky hoses, and we were coming out, hooking it up to the hydrant, running it from stall to stall, filling up the buckets, which it's a much smaller hose with 3/8 as opposed to 1/2 inch.
Right. So it's not a
So-
huge difference, but the amount of volume that goes through a 3/8 versus a half
It comes
is
out
crazy
much.
different.
It comes out much slower. It comes out much slower. So it took a long time to fill the buckets up that way. It worked as far as not wearing us out, carrying bucket loads, but this guy's not patient enough. So
As you can tell in these videos, I'm usually like, can I go? Where can I go?
he can't sit still long enough. So he has to carry bucket loads, which
Something I want to bring up before we end the video is these fittings that you buy for this poly pipe. It's got what they call a shark bite barb. So you can push pipe in, but just like Chinese handcuffs, you can't pull the pipe out without great force. And you will either wreck the little hose biter, or you'll wreck the pipe itself when you pull it out. These are great. They work really well. They're easy to press in and lock the pipe in place, but you need to have a flush cut on your pipe. So originally, when I bought the first roll, I thought, oh, I'll just use my sharp knife or some scissors and just cut the pipe. Yeah, no problem, but you always end up with a little barb, and that little barb gets in the way sometimes. They have a little tool. It's like a pipe guillotine shear, if you will, and it worked great. I think it cost me $8. I recommend it, just because of the amount of cuts that you're gonna make. Just do it. I mean, it's really easy. You can put it on your belt loop, take it off, clip the pipe, and put it back on, you're done. Instead of having to get your knife out or using the scissors and cutting off the little pieces and making sure it's straight. It does it all for you. It's really a nice tool. But again, these are very easy to use. There's no clamps, hose clamps, none of that. You're not using screwdrivers. You're just putting the pipe in the hole and it holds the pipe tight, and it is watertight when you do it right. There is no drips. So, is that close enough?
seriously, do this. It'll change your life.